Hello Virgo, welcome to my channel Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name's Annie. Happy to have all the Virgos out there with me today on YouTube. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, however you resonate, cross-watchers are welcome. I'm going to do a little bit of career and finances and then finish off with some love and relationship messages. Here on YouTube, I do general readings. That means not everything I say will resonate with all the Virgos out there. Inviting you always to come into these readings with an open heart and an open mind. Ultimately, if the messages don't resonate or feel strange or foreign to you, release those messages, assume they're going out to someone else, and then maybe later down the line they might resonate for you. I do hope pieces and parts of this resonate for you automatically. You know, that's my hope, but it won't be your message every week. So just do bear that in mind. That's my general disclaimer. You are always in the driver's seat of your own life, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you that, Virgo. Everything else about this video will be down in the description box below. That will include the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media channels. I am the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram, as well as .com. I ask for you to like, share, subscribe wherever you can, including on this video here today. That helps me a whole lot. It helps my channel grow. I'm so close to hitting 2,000 subs. I've been this close for months now. So if you haven't already subscribed, if you could do that, that would be fantastic. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Let's get some poppers here for Virgo. These cards are kind of sticking. They're new, so get two more cards for Virgo for relationships. Oops. I hope this video finds you guys well. Let's hop in. I think I gave you my general spiel. For the newbies, again, check out the box below if you are wanting to book a personal or find out anything more about this and what I do with tarot, okay? All right, Virgo, so let's look at career and finances first. You have Queen of Wands. I love that. She's my work hard, play hard queen. So it does indicate to me, and I mean, there's really no timeline to this message. I'm reading, June into July. That doesn't mean it's all going to manifest. That timeline is up to you. But I'm here to give you the messages, and again, you can take away the energy and do whatever you like with them. But Queen of Wands indicates to me that there's going to be some sort of project or something that you're working on that not only are you going to be passionate about, putting a lot of effort and energy into, in some sense, it's going to be quite fun and fulfilling. But you're looking at it in a very determined way. So I don't think you're going into it like thinking, oh, it's going to be all fun and games. I think it's going to require a bunch of your energy. A lot of your life force. What does that mean? Something about your life force. Maybe it's involving your faith or your spirituality, or maybe you're just connecting with spirit to get advice or guidance on this path you're trying to take in your career. And I mean, you are watching a tarot reading, right? But yeah, I think it's going to potentially increase your money flow, and it's going to bring you warmth. That could even be a message about something you're doing that, I know this sounds a little bit silly for those who are new to tarot, but like everything is a message. That could even require something that literally brings warmth. You could be working in something involving heat. You could be heating up chemicals for your job. You could be making clothing that, like winter clothing or something like that. Something involving heat, particularly, with the Queen of Wands, she's my fire queen, right? So it could be an Aries, Leo, Sag, maybe collaborating with you. That could be very strong in your chart, particularly like a rising sign. Could also, something about material, the folding of material. I don't know if you're doing something in retail, or maybe you're designing clothing or designing, something about banquet events, tablecloths. It's like setting the design up. And I mean, fire signs do love a really good aesthetic. And I'm mentioning that because that's what your energy is presenting on. So obviously you are an earth sign, Virgo, but it's kind of like in the coming months, you're channeling that fire energy. And there is something about the aesthetic, the beauty, the visualization of what you're doing. And so maybe that's just indicating that you're very strong in your powers of manifestation right now. And it's like, if you can visualize it, well, that makes it all the more easier to create it. So to me, it's saying, yes, keep focusing on that visualization, because it seems like there's definitely good things coming out. Queen of Wands, Six of Cups, and Eight of Pentacles are all, to me anyways, all very strong cards. Some of you are going to be, I love the Six of Cups. I think it's so cool looking, mermaid tarot. It kind of reminds me of Peter Pan a little bit when, at least in the storybook, there's scenes of him playing with mermaids. I just love that. I think it's cute. Anyway, let me get back to your tarot reading. This Six of Cups is typically a card of the past, nostalgia. It can be a soulmate card. So certainly you could be collaborating with, your hubby or your wife or your sweetheart on something. But the way this is presented, there's a lot of people I don't necessarily think it's confusion and anarchy or fighting. I don't think it's competition. Quite the opposite. You may be, again, bringing warmth, whatever that means to you, to groups of people and creating moments, creating memories, creating essentially moments that will later on have a nostalgia to it, if that makes sense. You could be doing something with archiving photos or creating like photo collages or memories, or again, the idea of bringing someone warmth, you touch their heart space. That's what that can mean, especially with Six of Cups. What you're doing sort of potentially tugs at people's like emotional strings, but in a way that is really beautiful. Some of you could even be filmmakers. Maybe you're telling stories, specifically, maybe you're telling stories of the past. Could also indicate that you're collaborating with, it doesn't have to be ages ago, but maybe friends that you've had throughout your life. You may be collaborating with a group of friends, or, your parents, your kids, your whatever, your soulmate, your soul tribe, on projects that require either lots of collaboration, or perhaps you're testing your skills out on each person so that you can grow and develop the skill. You could be sending people free samples or asking them to try your product and get some feedback and advice going. If that's the case, if any of you resonate with that, I think the feedback you're going to get is very positive. You're going to get feedback back that it provides you with some more source material to continue to grow and expand your business, or again, translate that into whatever, if it fits, whatever it is you're doing. It's not perfect, but people enjoy it as it is, but they are going to give you helpful feedback on how you could make it even better. And quite frankly, Virgo, you're thrilled with what you get back, because I don't know why it's being relayed to me this way, but it's specific enough where you can be like, oh my gosh, that's a great point. Let me add that to it, or let me include that in my whatever it is. You get feedback where it's not so much people posing problems to you. It's almost like the legwork is done for you. Rather than giving you problems, they give you what they experienced in their problem with whatever it is, and they immediately give you the solution. Like, yes, I like this, but it could make it easier or more user-friendly, this, and this. And you're like, oh, thank you, fantastic. Let me take those notes back and rework my thing. So that's like a really beautiful message. Again, for those who resonate with this, it is a little bit specific, guys. If you're sending something out, maybe you're sending it to vendors or clients, depending on, whatever stage it's in. For a lot of you, it's like you're testing it out with your friends or your family or something of the sort, or you're practicing on them. You do get warm feedback. It makes people happy. They're very curious. They want to touch it. They want to experience it. They want to talk about it with you. They want to celebrate. It's almost like they want to pre-celebrate your success, even though you haven't necessarily launched it yet. But you're going to, look at this card. That is determined as F, right? I love this card. I think it's great. And I mean, Queen of Wands, I like seeing that in a career spread. And Eight of Pentacles, again, is the card of the apprenticeship, the artisan, becoming the master of your skill, of your craft. And it's not to say that you're just starting out, though some of you might be. Maybe you're starting a startup, and in which case, in metaphor, you are sort of interning in your own business, learning how it's going to go, right? You're learning how all the cogs turn, the pieces and the parts, and supply and demand, that kind of thing, right? It does say to me that it would actually benefit you to talk about this or show your product or your design or whatever it is you're doing to people you trust, right? I mean, if you're still in the works and finessing it, fine-tuning it, don't share it with the whole world. Maybe don't start selling it on your website just yet. I mean, unless you're in that stage. Again, use your intuition. If you are looking for feedback, though, it would serve you and benefit you to reach out to, again, the soulmates, the soul group, the family, the whatever this is, your best friends, because the feedback they offer you, again, it's going to help increase or further or grow, help you develop whatever it is you're currently working on. And with that, you may even be able to raise the price of your product a little bit. You may have been underselling it. Or I suppose it could be the opposite. You may be trying to sell something at a certain price and your friends are like, it's good, I like it, but I wouldn't pay that much for it, and here's why. In which case, again, you can take that information and be like, all right, well, I need to sell it at this price, so how can I fix it to, meet the needs and demands of who I'm selling it to, or the client group, right? Let's throw a few more things on this. Very positive cards. I'm not getting too many negative things to say. Other than I don't think this is, I'm not necessarily getting the idea that this is fully launchable yet, if that makes sense to any of you. It's getting there. You're warming up to it. And again, there's positive growth. There's absolute progress in whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah, this is saying hold back on releasing it to the whole world yet, or maybe selling it on your website, or, you know, mass marketing, putting it out for everything to see, or again, whatever it is that you're doing. And I mean, I know some of this won't immediately apply to you. Say you're a teacher and you're like, I don't sell anything. This isn't making sense. You may have some sort of idea of something you want to implement. You know, if you're teaching from home, right, or whatever it is, you may have some innovative idea that, again, you're kind of figuring out if it could work, and maybe you're testing it, you know, hopefully with permission, on like a few of your students to see how they respond, or, you know, you have to make it fit your scenario if it in fact does, right? There's definitely a little bit of detective work on your part in order to see how, if, where, or if any way this fits into your life. But for some of you, it's saying hold back a little bit longer because, again, you're finessing it. You're fine-tuning it. I keep hearing that. I hope I'm using that word correctly. Now I'm wondering. There's such a focus on clothing design and, like, modeling, acting, like, and it doesn't have to be that, but something about the visual aesthetic, kind of star-studded, like, events or something like that. Something about clothing. Anyway, every time I say finesse, I keep thinking of that Bruno Mars song, which is so random. I wonder if he's a Virgo. He might be. I don't really know what he is, but are you dripping in finesse? It's him, and I forget who it is. It's not, I want to say Nicki Minaj. It's definitely not her. What is her name? She's adorable. She's got like a little funny way of talking. Anyway, are you dripping in finesse? It don't make no sense. It's that whole like In Living Color reference thing. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that, but I'm bringing it up for a reason because it might make sense to some of you. Maybe you're doing like 90s throwback, like fashion wear or something like that. Yeah, people are, if you open up the gates for constructive criticism, which again, I think you should open up to the idea of sharing it, but again, not in mass quantity. If you open it up to your friends, they're going to come at you with all the feedback you need. They're not going to be shy to tell you what they think. And I mean, that's very typical, right? When you ask someone their opinion, usually people are like, yes, let me tell you what. Like, people love to talk about what they think and their ideas and their opinions. And quite frankly, I think that will serve you. Yeah, okay, I think this is saying the most difficult part is behind you, but you're not in the clear yet. So not to rain on your parade, but if you Virgos, most of my Virgos, if you relate to this, and you think you're seconds away from, you know, clicking this and it all comes into fruition, you're not quite there yet, but this isn't to deter you. This is the opposite, to empower you, saying you have made tremendous strides, so do not quit now, because what you're headed towards, it's pretty bitchin'. But there might be some sort of loss or disappointment. Other thing is, I don't really think it's loss. I think it's disappointment about the timeline of it. I think you want this to manifest and come into fruition a lot faster, but let's be real, Virgo. Like, you are a mutable sign, so yes, you like change and you tend to adapt, you know, fairly well, right? Again, blanket statements, not everyone. But, you know, mutable signs need change. This is a knight, right? It's a mutable sign. It's technically Gemini, but I do think it's representing you. It's like, you're ready to go. You want to do it. You want to quit like pussyfooting around. You don't want to talk about it. You want to implement it. This is saying, I think you're going to be frustrated by the timeline of it, because when you send out your product or ask your friends or whatever to give you feedback, you do get feedback. And I am sensing there may actually be a lot of it, but what you're not realizing is that this feedback is invaluable. I'm getting Shark Tank. You know what I mean? Like, people giving you numbers like, well, have you thought of the data? Have you thought of the statistics? And maybe initially you're a little bit overwhelmed by all this feedback you got back, thinking your product or whatever it was great. Maybe it's your mentor, maybe it's your supervisor, maybe it's your boss, right? Whatever this feedback is. Again, it's not to deter you. You're going to realize in time that information you're getting back is so valuable that you're quickly going to go from, oh shit, like I thought I was done, to, oh, okay, I got this. Like, I'm going to keep working harder and make it the absolute best it can be. That's what I mean. Your overall theme in the coming weeks, potentially month, is artisan, apprentice, make it better, keep doing it. Learn the skill backwards and forwards and this way and that way. And I am being called to say it's something about once you know the rules, then you can break them. But it might be that you were trying to skip a few steps. It could be, actually, you know what this is? You may return to some sort of, I heard criticism, but some sort of piece of information, potentially from a friend or a family member, that maybe when you were first starting this idea, they were like, maybe have you considered this? And you're like, no, I don't have time for that. You're not understanding. That's not my goal here. Like, I'm going in this direction, not that direction. You may actually circle back to realize that almost like a cycle you had closed out on an idea regarding your product. You're like, no, it's dead and buried. I'm not doing it that way. Because you're, in a sense, returning to the past. It might be an idea you were given of the past that you're like, all right, well, shit. I guess I'm going to include it now. I'm going to work a little bit harder to see if maybe like that could work. I think you have to eat your words a little bit. I just got to be honest. Again, don't take that message if you don't want it to, but ultimately tarot is about opening up your idea, your mind, your heart to see things in a different way. Even the way this is headed in reverse, you may change your mind on something regarding your business, regarding the direction you go in, regarding the idea you had. I don't think you abandon it entirely, not at all. If anything, this could even be looked at as a positive message in that you may be frustrated again by the timeline. Like, if in metaphor, you're the intern or you're the artisan, like you want to be the boss, you want to be the emperor. This is saying you're not going to be in this position forever, but while you are, take advantage of that time, all you can learn, right? This could even mean you're getting frustrated working from home. You want to go out and maybe open up your shop again and implement all these new ideas or whatever. But, with quarantine or this or that, you're just like, this is annoying and I'm so done with it. And it's patience. Patience is going to be a virtue for you. You have positive money cards. I don't see money being negative. This isn't my favorite money card. It doesn't indicate loss, but it indicates things are okay. It's comfortable. You're paying the bills. You're getting by. But sometimes this card can be thought of as the miser card of not wanting to spend money in order to make more money. So that could be a problem for some of you Virgos. Sometimes, again, use your intuition. You need to take a well thought out risk. If you have to, what is that expression? Take a risk to gain more, something along those lines. It could also indicate something about not wanting to move locations or move potentially to the city or do something that, again, it would impact your finances and money would be tight. But again, use your intuition. You know what's best for you, but money in a sense gets better. You go from 4 to 8. And obviously these cards have different meanings, but when I'm doing a career and financial spread, when the Queen of Wands shows up and generally speaking positive money cards, I see that as like a very positive thing. So let me give you one more card here. I'm being called to use this deck actually. Any other advice or guidance specifically on the topic of money? And I do recognize this reading was a little bit specific. So again, it may apply to you when you view it from a different perspective. But if it doesn't, check in next time, right? Or find it. There are many readers on YouTube, thousands, probably millions, right? So don't limit yourself to one. And this might make sense in the future too for some of you, but this is a time of empowerment for you. A lot of you feel like independent entrepreneurs. You could be doing something like a spiritual business, becoming a spiritual leader of sorts, opening your own crystal shop or something like that. Something about a memoriam to an old friend. I'm not sure what that has to do with money or finances. Oh, this is also a metaphor about breaking the bank. You know how they said don't break the bank to do it? There might be some significant moment. I am getting a little bit further down the road where you are being asked to give a lump sum of money or invest in something that's a little bit beyond your comfort zone in terms of how much money you're willing to put in. And yeah, you seem extremely ambivalent about spending that much money because you don't want it to lead to the downfall of your business. But it could potentially usher in a new start, a new beginning where things will slowly start to blossom over time. There's this really great, I think I saw it as like a meme, or I'm sure it's a famous quote of something, but it has something to do with, and I usually view it through the lens of dating, but this is important for your career and finances, like bees to honey, something about that. the idea of like a flower doesn't blossom hoping to attract the bees. It does what it's naturally, organically supposed to do, and nature takes its course and the bees come to it. That has to do with your product, your sales. If you are in a mentality of, where are my clients? Why aren't they coming? That in itself is sending the message to the universe that you're confused about your clients. You don't know. It's more about shifting your perspective to believe in your product and see all the beneficial things it could do to people, and to just keep working at it, keep fixing it, or again, finessing it to make it the best it can be. The bees will come. It may take some time. There may be a few losses or difficult circumstances that really test you. What it's really testing is your ability to, it's your tenacity. It's your ability to quickly get over little upsets, particularly regarding money or frustrations, obstacles in your career. Again, pull yourself out of that state of lack. If you're vibing high, you will manifest good vibrations, faster. And this to me is just like, it's card number 1, right? For me, that's like new beginnings. Again, manifestation, the magician, also almost like fool energy in a positive way, right? In a tarot reading, the fool is a positive card. You may be doing something in nature, floral arrangements and working with elements, gardening, doing, outdoor construction again, and like something about outdoor events, something about that. Keep building yourself to be the best you can be. And it's like, as within, so without. It will manifest, but even the way flowers bloom over time, it's seasonal. You could work in a business where there's seasonal peaks and valleys, right? There's spikes depending on what season you're in. I would encourage you to keep going down this road. I do see some frustrations, but the thing is, they're minor frustrations. It's not going to last. It's not going, like the rider, right? Moving things along. It's like a knight. I do see positive things in your career. Don't get upset by the obstacles. And I don't know what this is. It's really a message for probably 1 or 2 of you, but you might be doing this because you're paying homage to someone in your life who, I don't know if they passed away from something, or you're trying to help a certain group of people. You're paying homage to a friend who potentially suffered from something. And don't be scared from this. I don't do fear-based messages. This would have been something that happened ages ago, and you may not even recognize the connection, but subconsciously there's some tie to why you're doing this. And it has to do with honoring a friend or a family member from your past. It's actually like a very beautiful spiritual message. Again, that might not make sense to everyone out there, but in the long run, it might. It could even be something as simple as you're trying to break into a career that maybe your grandfather always tried to break into, but he never could. Like, do you know what I mean? There's something about paying homage to someone from the past, and that should even further determine you to be like hell-bent to do it, to make it yours, to not settle, to not take no for an answer. If someone passes on it, okay, well, that's one person's opinion. I'm going to keep working on it, and it's going to bloom. It's going to blossom. That's sort of what I see for you. Let's hop into your love reading now. How far in are we? 23 minutes. Good Lord. Okay. Oh, Lord. 3 of Swords. All right. So you're going through it potentially with someone who is defensive, but you're actually healing from it. You're trying to remove the sadness or the pain from your life. Then you have the Knight of Cups, so potentially a Pisces, or it doesn't have to be a water sign, but it could be a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces wanting to come in and make an offer to you. This could also be the opposite. If there's someone you have eyes for and they may be going through a difficult time or depression, you may be coming in to nurture their heart, to bring them warmth and compassion and kindness. It could definitely be a Cancer. You get the Chariot card a lot. It does talk about forward movement, travel. It's a card of victory. It's about balancing your inner it's about balancing your light and dark energies from within, which everybody has. But it's a card of a warrior. It's very much like gladiator vibes to me. You may be traveling at night to go visit someone who means a lot to you. This doesn't have to be romantic. This again could be visiting your child or your parent, going on some sort of trip to go see them. And I'm actually, it's funny. I don't know how romantic this is. This actually feels a little bit different to me. Something about a Cancer or a Pisces might be important here. You may be traveling to see someone. Okay, there's a couple messages coming through here. Again, if it's not your message, don't take it. But there might be some third-party activity where you go to see someone at night, but in the daytime, like when it's illuminated for everyone to see, you're with this person. But I don't know, you might be chatting or flirting with someone online. It doesn't have to be that, but so there's some person coming up in this spread as 10 of Cups. So the energies go, multiple ways. I'm sorry to say. There could have been a fire sign that Aries, Leo, Sag, you viewed as your 10 of Cups, but if that's the case, it's you're struggling with that right now. So I don't know if it's someone you were potentially married to that wanted to spend time apart, or you might just be going through a difficult time in your marriage right now. For those who relate to that message, what advice do we have for them? Trust your intuition. Yeah, there's anxiety here for a reason. It means something isn't right. It doesn't mean it's not repairable, but it means you need to come out of the state of shock and sorrow and actually have a conversation with this person, because especially if you're in a long-term relationship, they may be oblivious that they even hurt you, or that, there's someone who's absolutely feeling pain and suffering of sorts, and the other person is just kind of, it's not that they don't really care, they're just not focused on it, or they're unaware of it. It might be a Sagittarius that you're dealing with, but I think you, Virgo, are cracked mirrors. What does that mean? Did you throw something at a mirror in anger or sadness? Or I think it has to do with the disillusion. You know how when you look in a mirror and everything is kind of cracked and wonky? It has to do with not seeing things correctly. Yeah, so there's potentially a Leo that has love for you, that wants to move forward with you, or again, you might be very sexually attracted to someone that you're wanting to come in and offer romantic love to. You might already be dating this person. For those, this might be a message for, unrelated to the rest. If you're already dating a Leo, it seems like there's kindness and warmth and compassion there. It seems like there's a victory. There's potential milestones coming in that relationship. So yeah, if you're with a Leo, it actually seems very positive. The Leo offers you refuge from oppression, or feeling like you weren't heard, or if you were in a relationship where you felt silenced, like you weren't allowed to express yourself freely. Either you're with someone now that makes you so thankful because it's such a diversion from the people you've been with of the past. If it's not that, it has to do with new love coming in, that again, it's the same message. It's going to be a welcomed relief from an otherwise darker time in your life. You may be getting out of something with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, particularly a Gemini that was stifling. In fact, that may have to do with a relationship that you need to let go of. A Gemini who maybe was very argumentative or just didn't treat you well. That could also be a timestamp in Gemini season, which I'm recording this and we're heading into Cancer season soon. There could have been something major or significant that happened in your relationship in Gemini season. The thing is, it's a mixed bag. There is a sense of loss and tragedy, but there is also something very beautiful here too. So again, take on the messages that you want, manifest that shit. If that's what you're excited to do, if you're ready to release this and set it behind. For a lot of my Virgos, it might be someone that you were married to or were in a long-term relationship with that ended up breaking your heart, or it could have been that you were involved with someone who was married or otherwise kind of taken, and as much as you tried to hold out for them, it just didn't go in your favor. In which case, it would serve you to release that and accept the change and the forward movement, because what you're headed towards looks beautiful. Look at that. I love it. Someone who's going to be fiercely protective of you, Virgo. And yeah, I mean, your love reading ends with a Chariot card, which again, it's a card of victory. Keep your internal energy even-keeled, balanced. Hang out with your Libra friend. Yeah, move away from the loss, the things that didn't work out. Again, keep your vibe high. Every loss or tragedy or hardship, it's just building you up to be a better version of yourself, a more empowered, like, warrior, right? So take on that warrior energy. Don't look at it as woe is me, nothing ever works out. It's like, all right, it's almost like universe. You're gonna play that game with me. All right, I'm just gonna use it to empower myself even more. That's the vibe you need to have in the coming weeks, whether it's career or romantically. Keep vibing high. Yeah, if you feel there was an injustice done to you or something didn't go in your favor, it's saying that you have to believe in fate and karma. It's not your job to be, it's not your job to dish out karma to other people. Do right by you. And if you're hanging out with people who are low vibing or not valuing you, underappreciating you, move away. And I mentioned Libra. Some of you may be struggling with a Libra, whether that's your boss, whether that's your husband, wife, a flame of the past. There's something about maybe ditching a Libra or spending time away from a Libra or getting out of a marriage contract. Again, it could be a business contract. Move forward with what your heart tells you, but make sure it's coming from a higher vibration, not a state of lack. Cancer is potentially going to be a romantic suitor for you, but it's a Cancer that maybe you kept on pause, or it could be that you're with a Cancer now, but you're growing bored. This represents one of you. Four of Cups, again, it's not a terrible card, but it's kind of like boredom or complacency. This may be you waiting for your next love, in which case possibly a Cancer's coming in. For any of my Virgos with a Cancer, there might be something there that's a little bit stagnant. It's not terrible. It's just saying you need to mix it up and get some of that sexual energy back into the relationship. You got to put more energy or more endurance into it, right? Almost like maybe you're out of that honeymoon stage where everything is all magic and fire. It's saying if you want this to be a victory and to move ahead, again, balance the dark and the light. Go on a trip, right? Go on a mini vacation, go on a road trip. That might revive you guys if you're feeling burnt out or exhausted, okay? All right, Virgos, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.